After the call for Order 66 was delivered at the end of the Clone Wars, and Anakin Skywalker was transformed into Darth Vader, his first mission with his 501st Clone Troopers was to eliminate a rogue Jedi on the remote desert world of Vulcan. While there, he worked with an Imperial Security Bureau agent named Onyé Namada, who proved to be very effective in carrying out the Dark Lord's wishes and did something absolutely incredible. So let's find out how she saved Darth Vader from the wrath of his master, Darth Sidious. This is part 2 of the Anakin and 501st After Order 66 series, so if you haven't seen part 1, check the pinned comment down below, as this story won't make much sense. So the story begins with a recount of events by Major Onyé Namada, a major in the ISB. Major Namada notes that ever since Vulcan's recolonization by a man named Trivak Ninegun, the planet has been a very crucial recruiting ground for the Jedi Order. Onyé goes on to say that you can ask 10 different people around the planet and they'll each give you 10 different reasons for why the Jedi are so popular here. Major Namada goes on to say that many people here prefer to shove their children to the Jedi cultists rather than force them to live on this backwater world, and is saddened that handing children to cultists is their best chance for a decent life. After Emperor Palpatine declared his new order, Jedi rebel Chonar Bene led a massive insurgency on the planet and is currently attempting to liberate them from Palpatine's Iron Fist. That was until Darth Vader arrived. Following this, Major Namada strolls into the center of the main town, backed by her clone troopers, and warns the citizens that there is no need to panic and that everyone should stay calm and follow instructions. Onyé then walks over to a local in the center of town and asks her who the person that is carved into the stone sitting atop the centerpiece of the village is. The villager is frightened to death by the Imperial Security Bureau officer's menacing presence, and she simply can't answer the question. The man running the sweet roll stall from the last issue then runs up to Onyé and angrily tells her to stop scaring away his customers, but she says that she's just asking a simple question. The frightened citizen then speaks up and nervously tells Major Namada, I think he was a war hero. Once she hears this, Major Namada simply smiles, knowing that she cannot allow such a large symbol of hope to remain standing in the center of the town. Knowing this, she simply says, close enough, before ordering her clone gunnery team to brutally open fire and destroy the historical monument, a definite war crime under the Yavin Code and Galactic Accords, which the Empire would actually still be signed onto, as this is Vader's first mission after Order 66 with the 501st. Destroying historical monuments is a clear war crime under these conventions. Only seconds after ordering the destruction, her clone troopers fire their cannons on the statue, blasting them into millions of rocky fragments, destroying the sacred statues of Jedi Master Plo Koresha, who stopped the Rust Plague, Jedi Knight Tolar, who ended the 1,000-year War of Flowering Knives, Jedi Knight Ren Rio, who brought law and order to the Null Sectors, and finally an unknown master who came to Vulcan to die. This, unfortunately, is the start of something much, much darker. Vader has ordered Major Namada to destroy every single site and location that has even the remotest connection to the Jedi Order. After this, Major Namada declares to the people of the village that by the order of Lord Vader himself, this plaza, which is now empty, will serve as the brand new site of an Imperial Education Center. Not only is the Empire destroying sacred sites to build Imperial re-education camps, but they are now strongly encouraging that all of the children of Vulcan enroll in this re-education center or face reduced opportunities, whatever that means. Yeah, the Imperials are clamping down hard on this planet. The residents of the village are absolutely shocked and terrified by this, but there is just nothing they can do. Following this, Vader then orders a complete purge of anyone who dissented or protested against the Imperial Education Center. Onyé Namada then reports to Vader that the citizen purge went very well, and she managed to keep the executions to as few as possible to send the right message, but she warns Vader that even after all of this destruction, the people will still remain loyal to the Jedi. The next Jedi site on Vader's list is a sacred parkland. Onyé has no choice but to continue carrying out Lord Vader's orders, now bringing her clone troopers to the parks and horrifically burning down the nature reserves which were planted so many years ago by the renowned Jedi Master Uru Ku in a blazing inferno of fury. In its place, the Imperials build a security station to further show their strength and that they will not stand for rebellion in any way. After this, Major Namada and the Empire go even further and even darker, this time scorching and burning a sacred back alley where Master Ki-Adi-Mundi had become a war hero to Vulcan during the Clone Wars. After this, the Empire even went as far as contacting individual citizens who had names that the Empire considered restricted, either because prominent rebels had these names too, or because it was offensive to Palpatine himself. One citizen refused to change his name and was subject to a brainwashing to convince him to change his name. As time continued flowing on, Vader then took his 501st troopers to many sacred Jedi locations and rebel hideouts, eagerly searching for the parasite Jedi Chonar. Vader eventually comes across an ancient ruins and takes his men deep inside of the catacombs below the city. In the dark, misty catacombs, Vader's troopers are creeped out and terrified by the place, asking, what sort of people do this for the Jedi? After this, two pairs of glowing blue eyes shine from the darkness ahead of the clone troopers before two savage creatures leap out of the shadows and begin chewing on the armor of the brave troopers. These creatures are known as the Toccata Nobili, arriving to the planet a whole 3 centuries ago. Vader, however, isn't going to let his men be torn apart by these creatures, instead plunging his lightsaber deep into the chests of the beasts, killing the centuries-old creatures. As one of the beasts is violently chewing through one of Vader's clone troopers, he throws his blade circling into the air until it goes deep into it, saving his trooper. Following this, a strange lady calls out to Vader from the distance, telling him that the creatures lived a long and peaceful life until today. She goes on to tell him that this temple was built to honor the Jedi Order, and because Vader offers only violence, she asks the Dark Lord to leave. Vader is infuriated by this statement, telling the old lady that no Jedi has power over beasts, and that no Jedi has ever set foot on Vulcan, still continuing the propaganda that the Empire is attempting to spread on the planet. The lady then calls Vader out, warning him that this propaganda can never work, and that the people won't just pretend that the Jedi never existed. Vader then immediately brushes her off, demanding to know the location of the fugitive Jedi from earlier, Chonar. Vader goes as far as even grabbing the old lady by the throat before tossing her aside and threatening to bombard the entire planet just to kill this one rebel Jedi, even despite Palpatine warning him not to in their last communication. After this, the news very quickly spreads across the entire planet that fires blaze across every city and that rubble lays everywhere. This is of course a trick by Lord Vader to lure out the fugitive Jedi, and he hasn't actually started a bombardment yet. The Imperial news channel in the cantina continues spewing out propaganda, telling the local residents that Lord Vader has departed the planet Vulcan after overseeing a series of public works projects. As the citizens watch on, Major Namada happens to be sitting in the cantina, watching the propaganda broadcasts, until one of her clone troopers walks up to her and hands her fresh orders right from the top. After hearing the fake news of Vader's bombardment, the Jedi insurgent Chonar rushes to the side of the temple and tears through the rubble created by Vader, where he tragically finds the body of the Temple Keeper and falls into a deep pain. As Chonar is almost brought to tears, he is swiftly discovered by Darth Vader, who ignites his red lightsaber and says that he has been expecting him. Chonar then calls Darth Vader Dark Dog of the Sith, insulting him for his allegiance to Palpatine. Vader then reveals that his fellow Jedi revealed his location before Vader brutally killed him earlier in the prison cells, but Chonar wants to hear absolutely no more. Instead, he simply says, "No more then," and ignites his dual-wielded blue lightsabers and enters a ferocious battle with the Dark Lord of the Sith. Chonar taunts Vader, telling him that his attempts to scrub away the history of the Jedi were a complete failure, but Vader is having none of it as he slams the blue-skinned Jedi far into the distance. The two continue punching and destroying the area around them until Vader puts his lightsaber directly in Chonar's mouth, threatening to end his life immediately, but he just can't bring himself to do it, because he has another plan. Vader hopes to have this hero of a Jedi killed in front of the people of Vulcan to send a message that their god is actually a weak mortal and demoralize them horribly. The area that the two are in is now surrounded by harmful toxins that will soon kill the Jedi, but leave Vader unscathed, since he is of course wearing his mask. This gives the Jedi no other choice but to run to the center of the village, where his death will be seen by everyone. Chonar then rushes into the main village, where he begs the Stallkeeper from earlier in a panic to know if the safe house not far from here still holds the antidote to the venom. Of course, this venom was set up as a security measure for the temple by the Jedi fugitive so long ago to stop outsiders from getting in, but now he has become a victim to his own trap. Before he can even finish asking the stall owner where the antidote is, the Jedi hero is blasted directly in the throat from a distance by one of the clone troopers, killing him instantly. Major Namada's clone troopers then come rushing in, not knowing that he is the Jedi that Vader has been looking for. Or so they claimed. In an absolute shock to the stall owner and the citizens of the town, the clone trooper then removed their helmet, and underneath the armor was not a clone, but instead Major Namada. Onyé Namada has just succeeded in the shooting and killing of Vader's archenemy on this planet, Chonar Bene. She has just sent a message to the whole planet that their god is simply mortal. And to end this tragic and cold story, Onyé Namada knows that from now on, there will be no more urban legends or stories about the Jedi on this dusty world after she humiliated their hero. Vader also reports his success to his master, but Sidious scolds him and warns him that he needs to move past his petty obsession with these hunts and turn his focus to ruling the galaxy. Vader then sulks at this and looks over at his collection of captured lightsabers before Onyé tries to live a more normal life in the city, and even goes on to have a daughter who she one day hopes that she can send to the Imperial Academy that she ruthlessly helped to set up. Thanks so much for watching, really hope you enjoyed the series. Cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.